Oh, what is going on, Ada Nation? Welcome to the Dapp Central YouTube channel. My name is Fareed. Today, I've got some breaking news surrounding the Cardano ecosystem. The first thing I want to jump into is going to be the weekly Cardano Development report, as well as a brief look at some of the NFT activity that we've seen on chain. Second, I've got some breaking news surrounding USDA, which is supposed to be a stablecoin coming over to Cardano with a fiat-backed reserve. However, they have just announced that they will be pausing the rollout of USDA, so make sure to stay tuned for that particular update. Following that, we've got some news surrounding Lenfi and a proposal to add a brand new token as a collateral option, as well as MuesliSwap bringing over to Cardano options trading. Now, this will be a first of its kind, and they've also got a specific token for this new platform, which I want to break down as a part of this video. Last but not least, I want to jump into Minswap, which has just teased their Minomics or their Tokenomics V2, given the fact that the community had been asking for them to update their initial version of their tokenomics. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal here is to provide you in the community with the latest news, tutorials, and reviews for the top builders on the Cardano network. I'm also a single stake pool operator operating the official Dapp Central stake pool. If you'd like to support me on my mission to educate the broader Cardano and crypto community, then consider delegating with the stake pool. As always, I want to say thank you to all my supporters, not only the delegators, but also the viewers here on this YouTube channel. Jumping into the very first topic here for today's video, I want to do a brief review of the weekly development report, and then we're going to touch on NFT activity. So right now we've got over 135 projects launched, 1,200 builders. We've got the same amount of native tokens right at about 8.57 million, with 77,000 token policies and about 71 million transactions. Now, one key piece that is missing here from this week's report is going to be the Plutus V2 and the V1 script. So unfortunately, no update on that as a part of today's video. Taking a look at the left-hand side there, we've got a brand new release for Daedalus version v5.3. We've also got some additional APIs being added to the Marlowe smart contracts, which they just had a launch party for. I believe that took place in Lisbon. And if you're not familiar with Marlowe, it's going to be a platform that allows you to quickly and easily create Cardano smart contracts. Right below that, we've got some updates surrounding Mithril and the infrastructure, which has now been deployed to the main net. And in a nutshell, Mithril is going to be a speed and scalability solution, allowing you to pull data and sync up much faster with regards to the Cardano node. Right below that, we've got a update surrounding Project Catalyst, which I've been talking about here as a part of these updates very recently, but we've now moved over into the project review stage. And I believe that'll be lasting a total of 12 days. So at this point, the proposees or the people that are putting in their proposals can no longer edit them, and they're now going to be reviewed by the community and I believe proposal assessors. And then once they've had their look and initial grading of those proposals, they'll come back over to the general Cardano community for their voting. So if you're an ADA holder, get ready to potentially begin voting for these Project Catalyst proposals. And I've mentioned this before, you can head over to Lido Nation or IdeaScale to get a brief look as to what is going on. That's going to wrap it up there for that very first segment here for today's video. The next thing I want to jump into is going to be some of the top NFT collections here on the network based on volume share. So what we have here right now at number 1 is going to be the Earth Node NFT collection. And we had Mickey and the rest of the World Mobile team basically mention that there is going to be a hard cap of 1,000 of these Earth Node NFTs. So if you are not a holder, right, it's going to be very, very hard to become one in the near future. And just that announcement alone, in addition to a few others, which included a partnership with a brand new member, as well as a integration and receipt of a Spectrum license, we saw the floor price briefly jump up to, I believe, about 150,000 ADA per Earth Node NFT. Since then, they've come back down, and I believe right now they are trading at a floor price of about 90,000 ADA. However, that is still up from their initial 60 to 70,000 floor price, which was the floor price for quite a bit of time. On to the next, we've got an update here from Ape Society taking over 7.47% of the total market share. Again, this is for the past week in terms of trading activity. We've also got Cornucopias with about 7% with their Cornucopias Valley Raceworks T3 NFT mint, which completely did sell out, and I was able to participate as a part of that. However, I minted a common. Right behind them, we've got Tappy, which also had a 2x in terms of its floor price. I believe they minted for about 420 ADA. They briefly jumped up to about 600 ADA. That's actually where I purchased mine at. And then right after that, we saw a supply shock in which the NFT had shot all the way up to about 1600 ADA, and it's now back down to about 1000 ADA. Right behind them, we've got the book token with their Gutenberg Bible, which was actually going to be giving people early access to their book token version 2 sale. And so that was actually why we saw a huge increase in terms of that particular NFT. Closing out the list, we've got Clay Nation, we've got Cornucopias Land, we've got the Cardano Crocs Club, the Ape Society Cabins, and then the majority or the rest of the NFT market taking in a massive 54%. I believe that is going to do it here for this particular update. And now we're going to jump into some of the project specific news. If you're enjoying this video so far, I would really appreciate it if you guys could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you guys like this content, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me surrounding anything that I'm touching on as a part of today's video, then please make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. Now, this next story here is going to be surrounding ANZNs or USDA. And it's an unfortunate piece of news here, but I do have to report it. And this is going to be surrounding the fact that USDA will not be rolling out on Cardano as expected. Now, I believe that they had initially set out to launch in between Q1 and Q2. Given the fact that we are now in Q3, the worries were beginning to grow, and the team has finally put out an announcement. So here it states, although we are tech ready, regulatory headwinds require the pause of USDA and the ANZN's platform as they begin to seek out alternatives for launching their product. After discussions with stakeholders and Cardano Dapps, we've made the difficult decision to pause the USDA stablecoin and ANZN's launch due to continued regulatory uncertainty. Despite the pause, we remain dedicated to bringing USDA and ANZNs to market, and our goal is to empower economic growth and innovation while ensuring financial freedom. The very last part I want to read here states, the current timing and regulatory uncertainty in the United States poses unforeseen challenges. We prioritize our ecosystem safety and will not expose it to unnecessary risks. So a little bit of background here. Again, this is supposed to be a fiat-backed stablecoin in addition to what we already have with JED as well as IUSD. Now, those other two are synthetics or over collateralized, where this was supposed to be backed 1-to-1 by the dollar. So if we had 1 million of the USDA tokens online, that would then mean that there would be 1 million hard dollars backing that up, locked up somewhere. Now they would have some kind of system to verify the actual treasury, but that's just the background surrounding USDA. Now, what they're stating here is that because of regulatory uncertainty, that they're not going to be rolling out this product. As you guys are probably aware, we just had a positive ruling with XRP being not deemed a security. And we also have an ongoing battle between Coinbase and the SEC, as well as Binance and the SEC, again, both of those being the largest exchanges, being sued by the SEC, them basically claiming that those two platforms are selling unregistered securities. Now, a lot of people tend to think that is not the case, especially after the recent ruling against XRP, or against the SEC, I should say, in which we saw XRP win. And that hopefully had opened up some clarity, but we still don't have the necessary regulation that a lot of these other companies are looking for. Even though we have had a minor win with XRP, it does not seem like ANZNs is feeling comfortable to launch USDA. Now, what they could also expand or potentially look into, which I'm sure they probably have, is looking to launch this outside of the United States. Up until now, all of these stablecoins that we have worked with have all been tied or pegged to the US dollar. Again, you take a look at the likes of JED, you take a look at the likes of IUSD and USDA, as well as Mahen Finance, are all tying back to the US dollar. Now, granted, it is one of the strongest currencies right now, even though we all know that all these currencies inflate, and over time we do have power struggles or power changes where we see other currencies coming into domination. Right now, it does seem like the US dollar is leading that front, which is why they're looking to create USDA, again, being pegged back over to the dollar. But with this now, could they potentially look at pegging this to another asset, for example, the euro, instead of the dollar? I think that is one way to look at it. Whether or not they're going to be doing that has yet to be seen, because it does look like they are solely focusing on tying things back to the US dollar. But I think, generally speaking, this opens up a huge opportunity for platforms like Mahen Finance. Now, Mahen is going to be looking to provide a fiat-backed reserve as well. And now that USDA, which was supposed to be a really big competitor coming into the space, is no longer going to be doing so, at least in the short term, I think this opens up a huge gate for Mahen to step in and fill a need that has been needed for quite a bit of time. We did see Shares Lake, which was another fiat-backed stablecoin provider, coming on Cardano, but they actually did close down their shop, given the fact that they just were not as widely adopted. Now, the key to USDA was that they were going to be driven by Emergo, which is one of the founding arms behind Cardano. And again, that was just a huge, or that is going to be a huge loss to the community. So if Mahen is able to pull this off, I think this will be huge. But I wanted to share this here with you guys surrounding USDA. I will leave the link to this Twitter thread down below. There's a little bit more information surrounding their approach, and the fact that they are not giving up. They're just waiting for a little bit more clarity before they move forward. So that is going to be it there for that particular update. Again, breaking down the unfortunate news that USDA is going to be taking a pause, and we're not going to see them launching here on the Cardano network in the short term. The next bit of news I have is going to be surrounding Lenfi, which was previously known as AADA Finance. Now, Lenfi has been on a run here very recently in regards to their token price breaking out of an all-time high, not only in its ADA valuation, but also in its US dollar valuation. So congratulations to the Lenfi team for continuing to do such an amazing job here. And they just released Lenfi version V2, which is going to be supporting their peer-to-pool protocol. I did release a fully dedicated video breaking that process down. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, then make sure to go ahead and check out that particular video. Now, jumping back to the main highlight here for Lenfi, I want to highlight that they are now asking the community as to whether or not they want to add SNEK as a collateral asset to Lenfi. And if you're not familiar with SNEK, it's going to be the #1 traded asset right now on Cardano, overshadowing some of the biggest DeFi and DEX protocols on the network. Now, it is known as a meme coin, and so some people, would say that it has no value, but I will say that they have a couple different burning mechanisms. They have a full dedicated staking pool. They also just launched an energy drink, and they've got a few other initiatives, which include a bridge and a way to swap from Ethereum straight over to SNEK, as well as from Pepe and Doge straight over into SNEK. And so they are building, even though some people consider them a meme coin. But again, this particular bit of news here is surrounding adding them as a collateral asset on AADA V1. So if you guys hold AADA, make sure to go ahead and participate in voting, as it is currently available right now on the AADA governance portal. If I jump over here, we can see that right now the stats are somewhat close, and I would have expected this to actually be a clear-cut yes. But what I have noticed is that when proposals come out for adding things as collateral, we tend to see the votes are very, very close, or very somewhat towards the middle. Whenever it's just adding assets as a borrowable asset, those tend to usually be of great disparity, where we have either a huge yes or a huge no. So adding SNEK as collateral right now has a yes vote of almost 1 million of the AADA tokens, gaining 55% approval, with a very close 750,000 no votes, or about 45%. So this vote can still go any way. And again, if you hold the AADA token and you potentially support SNEK, then you want to make sure your voice is heard. And if you think that it's not a good, valuable asset as collateral, then you can also go ahead and make sure to vote for that as well. That is going to do it there for that particular update. Again, just briefly touching on the fact that Lenfi is looking to add SNEK as collateral. The next update that I have for you guys here for today's video is going to be surrounding MuesliSwap. This particular DEX has been doing an amazing job of continuing to add to what they've already built. They were one of the first, or they were the first order book style DEX to be built on Cardano. And since then, they've worked on their governance proposal, and they're now introducing a new way to trade on the Cardano network. So just like in regular stocks where you can purchase a share outright, you can also bet on the future price of a particular share by purchasing an option or an option call. They're now going to be bringing that over into Cardano. So it states here OptionFlow is going to be coming, and they're going to be having their token public sale, or their public token sale, via the MuesliSwap website, and that'll be kicking off on July 22nd at 3 p.m. UTC with a price of 0.3 ADA per token. And if you hold the milk token, you will be whitelisted and get early access and a set allocation, or a guaranteed allocation, of the OPT token. So let's quickly talk about what options are and what OptionFlow is, and then we're briefly going to touch on some of the information here surrounding their token sale. So it reads, OptionFlow aims to revolutionize the world of decentralized options by providing a cutting-edge platform on the Cardano blockchain. The protocol allows users to create, execute, and settle options contracts in a transparent and efficient manner, all without the need for intermediaries. Now, options can be considered risky, right? Because again, you are betting on the future price of a particular asset. And while it can be risky, the upside can also be a lot greater than purchasing a token outright, which is what we've had access to right now on the Cardano network, right? So you're able to basically go ahead and purchase the milk, the MuesliSwap, the Sunday swap, the MEL, the cornucopias token, and you hold those actual tokens. Well, now using options, you'll be able to bet on the future price of a particular asset. Now, some of the information here surrounding their public token sale, or their public sale, includes the total token supply, in which we'll see 30 million of the OPT tokens. Again, that'll be kicking off on July 22nd at 3 p.m. UTC, and it will last up to a total of 5 days, depending on how many of the tokens they currently sell. The price, as I mentioned before, will be 0.38 per token, and if you hold the milk token, you'll get early access to the actual token. Now, in terms of the total supply, right, that's going to be 45 million tokens, and they're selling or providing 30 million of that as a part of their public sale. So they're looking to really get out a lot of the initial supply during their public token sale, which means that we're not going to see a lot of emissions coming into the general open market. So this could be really good for some of the price appreciation of the actual OPT token. And again, this is not financial advice. I just always urge you guys to do your own research. So 10 million of the OPT tokens will be claimable exclusively by milk token holders. 5 million will be allocated for yield farming incentives, and the total of 30 million will be available during the public sale. So again, this is an interesting idea coming to Cardano. This is going to be a first, just like we saw them being the first ever AMM style DEX, or excuse me, the first order book style DEX on Cardano. And so this could really be a huge game changer here for Cardano, and it'll be interesting to see if any other DEXs follow suit. So if you guys want to find out more about OptionFlow, definitely make sure to check out their official links. And you can also head over to opt.muesliswap.com to get access to the official website where you can begin to connect your wallet and purchase the OPT token. So that is going to be it there for that particular story. The very last item I want to touch on as a part of today's Cardano scoop is going to be surrounding the Minswap Tokenomics, or the Minomics, as they like to refer them to as. So it states here, you, the community spoke, and we, Minswap, have heard you. Minomics V2 is coming, a glimpse into the future. So we had a little bit of discussion, right, from the community, basically touching on the emissions schedule, as well as where some of the fees were being redirected to, whether that was going to the DAO treasury in other areas or back over to the team. And the Min team has basically drafted what they want as a part of the new or the second version of the Minswap Tokenomics. So it states here, there's been a lot of discussion recently within the Minswap community regarding Minnomics. The overall sentiment is that Min as a token lacks a use case and a role within the platform. Token mechanics are a pivotal part of the overall DEX's health, and the revamp of the Minnomics is due, and holders also deserve more clarity as well as a bigger say in the future of the Minnomics. So they do have two different articles here breaking down the current version of the tokenomics and what they have found so far. And I'm not going to break that down as a part of this video, but as always, I refer you guys to check this out on your own via the Minswap Labs Medium page. Now, if I scroll down just a little bit, this is all information surrounding the current report, or excuse me, the current tokenomics. And at the very bottom here, we've got some of the bits of the future version of the tokenomics that we can expect. So we'll have the ability to decide on the future of the fee switch, which is basically the allocation of all the fees generated when swaps take place on the Minswap DEX. The Min holders also have the ability to commence the redirection of Batcher fees towards the DAO treasury, as well as the ability to evaluate new use cases for the Min token within the platform, as well as contribute to iterative improvements on the Min tokenomics. So again, if I scroll down, they've got dedicated sections here breaking all of this down. Because this just came out here, I don't feel comfortable highlighting anything just yet. But what I'll do is read up on this on my own, and then follow up in an additional video to break this down with you guys. So I believe that is going to take us here through today's video, breaking down the very last update surrounding the Min tokenomics. Again, if you guys appreciated this video, I would really appreciate you if you guys could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you guys want more content like this, or if you have any questions surrounding anything that we talked about as a part of today's video, which included the Cardano Development Report, recent NFT market volume, as well as USDA, Lenfi, MuesliSwap, and Minswap, then make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.